lack of a mentality, a way of thinking in your country that was holding back people from succeeding. And he wrote a really very wonderful PhD dissertation, which has been published. And any of you who are interested in reforming this for your younger brothers and sisters and your own children someday should read that, because it really talks about how, and unfortunately, you're getting an education in many things that are relevant to starting a business. And in doing so, one of the things that happens is it's going to be easier for you to change your mindsets than it is going to. That was the worst thing. But in business, it's what the customers think that counts. So eventually, to make a long story short, we ran 5-day meetings only about that topic. And people would pay us 50,000 American dollars to come for 5 days of that, each person. And even there, we found that people would pay more, even than that. We were not charging enough, and we were not giving enough information and over again. And you have to realize it's like going to college. It is an education. Okay. So I see the electronics are working better, so I will switch over a little bit here. Good. Thank you all very much for those who struggled here. Let's give them some applause. So, one of the things that we're going to talk about here is, how you can live your dreams. And what I can tell you is that every single person that I have met who has used the things I will be talking about has been living their dreams. Those who read about it but did nothing are not living their dreams. So you have to learn and you have to do something. Before we're done on the fourth day, we'll have Dr. Tanzania will be sharing a lot of his experiences from Malawi, where he has been taking unsuccessful entrepreneurs and turning them into successful entrepreneurs who are typically earning 20 times their previous income within 6 months. Does that sound pretty interesting? So hang around to get to hear from Dr. Tanzania. He also has brought some materials that you can use to learn more about how he did this. Okay, so I want to give you a perspective here, because what my perspective is, because I can easily mislead you. So I am an American, so I can know a lot about America. I don't know very much about your country. So I have to rely on you to know about your country. The other thing is I'm a Christian, and I'm going to come from a Christian point of view. You may not be a Christian, and that's fine. Or you may have any religious beliefs at all. But I want you to realize I'm bringing those two perspectives. Now, in doing that, I'm going to be posing some possibilities. I'll call them that. Possibilities. I'm not even going to call them opportunities, possibilities. And I would like you to think hard about these possibilities, pray about these possibilities if you're a praying person, and then talk to knowledgeable people who you trust their judgment, and share your thoughts about these possibilities with them, and then use your own good judgment to decide what to do. So this is not a case where I'm coming in here and saying, if you do these 3 things, then that's going to fix everything. I really don't know enough to do that, so I just want you to realize I'm not that kind of an expert. I'm somebody who can share possibilities with you, and that you will have to turn those possibilities into reality, having picked on what are the right ones for you. Good. So the next thing I want you to understand is a little bit of background about something that we call the 400-year project. And you might be thinking, gee, I know he's old, but he isn't 400 years old. So I have to kind of explain that. So I had an experience that to me was a spiritual experience, and it occurred back in 1995. And I was happily sleeping in my bed at home, and in the middle of the night, I was awakened by this voice that started talking to me. And the voice said something like this: Don, knew my name, whoever this person was. I looked around and didn't see anybody. Don, I said, I'm here. I want you to find ways so that everyone on earth can accomplish 20 times more than they do now by the year 2035. And I said, who, me? And I didn't know what was going on. And then we proceeded to have a dialogue for about 3.5 hours about what I was supposed to do. And I started saying, you know, is this from heaven or is this from someplace else? And I was told it was from heaven. And I didn't dare ask who it was. I was afraid what the answer might be, so I didn't ask. But we kept talking, and I said, but I have no idea how to do that. And the answer was, Don, I know you have no idea.